I'm about to take a piss on y'all cereal. Hey, what's going on, my street people? It's time for another video, another episode of actually grinding gears. It's been a while since I've actually named my videos in anything, but we're gonna jump into this video of basically unpopular opinions, or maybe they are popular, I don't know, but it's things that I did not like about Avengers Endgame. And let me prefix this with like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, all that jazz. You know, I bet you guys didn't expect it. You didn't expect me to say that. But anyway, before I really jump into it, I'm gonna state, as before with my previous unspoiler review, I love this movie. It's really good, but there are a couple things in this movie that made me go, really? Really? But okay, let's jump into this. First things first, this completely unnecessary super female shot. Let me start with this. The shot itself visually was amazing, and I loved seeing it. It was nice, it was cool. I got what it was and what it was meant to represent. It was great. That was nice. However, it also was like super forced. It was just in our face. It was just like, don't get me wrong, like I said, I get why, and it's cool, it's great, but it's just like, I would have expected them to do something better. Like just before the lead up to where that happened, I believe they had Valkyrie came out of nowhere to help not Superman, completely different movies, to help Spider-Man, and I think Rescue, Pepper Potts came out to help as well. Basically, they led up to it, and it was just like, oh, this person's helping Pete, this person's helping Pete. Great, that is cool. Oh, they happen to be female, and they're just badass. Whereas that shot just made it go from helping this person to how was she gonna get through? And I can't remember who it was that needed to get through, but someone did, and I can't remember. It's like, oh, don't worry, she's got us. And it's just all the women. I'm like, that's badass. It is badass. But it was just, you could have done it in a much smarter way where you couldn't have someone just be like, I hate it because of this. I don't hate it. It's just like, I want better in terms of directing and so on. But I guess that's kind of the point. They did it so in your face so people would talk about it, i.e. people like myself, or people that would say they hate it, and then people look and say, well, actually no, I don't hate it because of this. But I guess that's the point of it, but it's just something that made me go, this isn't needed. And I think if they did it in a much more subtle tone, it would have had a bigger impact, at least for me, and what I would have preferred. I mean, if we look at the Dora Milaje from Black Panther, all female warriors, all female badass warriors that are there to protect the king. But it's never the point of the movie to show that these are badass females in terms of shoving it in your face. It's just that they let their actions do the talking and say, wow, okay is badass. Shuri's badass, although she's not part of the Dora Milaje, but you get what I mean. And all the warriors that are shown are just badass because you see what they do. You're not shown what they do. Even when it comes to, say, Captain Marvel, which there was a huge thing about being a feminist movie or whatever, which on the surface, at the very least, it wasn't. But I've read a couple articles that show there's some psychology behind it that could interpret it in a more feminist manner, but I didn't. And I enjoyed the movie for what I saw, at least on the surface level, but that's that. And that was even the first Marvel, well, the first female-led Marvel movie in the MCU. And it didn't have something as so overt as she's gonna help us. Don't get me wrong, the marketing did it, but the movie didn't. All I'm trying to say is it could have been directed better. Time travel. Ooh, I hate time travel. Now, there's a lot of movies that I do like that do have time travel that are referenced in Avengers Endgame, such as Terminator, Back from the Future, or Back to the Future rather, Hot Tub Time Machine. There's a number of them, and I'm like, cool, I get it, it's great, but I just hate anything with time travel, and it's annoying. And a portion of me also always feels like it's a bit of a cop-out, a really strong bit of a cop-out, or it's just really simple to go to, like, you know, I've written myself into a corner, I need to get out of it. There are exceptions, especially in this case with Avengers Endgame, that it's used well, so it doesn't feel like a cop-out, but I would have liked if they kind of moved on with something and didn't use time travel or something, but I guess that opens up avenues for further movies into phase 4, phase 5, phase 6, however long this whole comic book universe goes on for the MCU. But I still hate it. And it doesn't exist, really, maybe. We don't know, there's theories. Hulk. Oh, what the actual Hulk is going on? So this Professor Hulk thing, which we knew was kind of going to be a thing for a while, at least if you've been in the circles of like YouTube and stuff like that, or just being a nerd or whatever, who, you know, search up these kinds of things or watch videos like the ones that I make, whatever. And it's like, dude, what's going on? This is legit some serious garbage that's going on with Hulk. I mean, I can't even really try and turn a positive out of this, and I'm usually good at spinning things, and there's nothing I can find, at least visually, positive about what they did to Hulk in this movie. So, all right, check this. Thanos Balboa right now in Infinity War, he just completely folded Hulk like a garden chair, like literally just hit him, crumpled him, and it was game over for Hulk throughout all of Infinity War. We saw glimpses of him, but whatever. He was not there to fight after the first, 10 minutes of Infinity War. No Hulk. No Hulk whatsoever. Nothing. Cool. All right, you know what that happened? I get it. You know, there's an arc for this character to go through because of the whole deal with Universal. They can't make a Hulk movie by itself. Whatever. Cool. Nice. Cool. Whatever. The only time we ever get to see Hulk smash anything is when they go back in time to 2012 for the first Marvel's Avengers movie, the first combination of all these movies, phase 1, and he's smashing on a little Chitauri pawn. Oh, it's hilarious. It's actually hilarious when he's jumping on the car and it's like legit Hulk smash, and he chases after some other Chitauri people. I'm like, that's cool. That was great. But what I wanted, and I think what everyone wanted, everyone that saw Infinity War, everyone that wants to see a legit Hulk just beat down, reminiscent of what happened in 2012 and some of what happened in Age of Ultron, what we want is for Savage Hulk to come out and lay the smack down on someone, on a bunch of people. I think more so than anything else, they wanted a rematch. Now, for me personally, I can see this as a pointless thing because at the point of this, Professor Hulk is not as strong as OG Hulk in the comics, nor is he as strong as the Incredible Hulk, Savage Hulk, whatever you want to call him, prior to Infinity War. I get that, and if he's already been handled once, he'll probably be handled again. Cool. And adding to that, Thanos did not use any of the stones in their fight in Infinity War. But it would have been nice to see a visual rematch of some sort. If we don't get that, because all right, cool, it makes sense for Hulk not to want to do that and Banner to not want to do that within the confines of the MCU. Cool. Give him more action scenes within the movie as Professor Hulk. Not just him talking with the Henchman, which is a great scene, but we want fights. And during that skirmish at the end of the movie, where was he? I think I saw him at least once doing something, but there's pretty much nothing. All the action was left to everyone else. Hulk was nowhere, and he's a big hitter, even as Professor Hulk, but nothing. The only time we see any action whatsoever of anything was literally when they found out that Natasha had died, and everyone's there, and they're all super sad, blah, blah. And then Banner Hulk, broke, whatever, Professor Hulk throws the bench. I feel sorry for the bench. He took all his rage out on the bench, not on the enemy. The bench was just there doing its job, chilling. You got treated like trash, and I'm not happy about this. The Shield. So with this one, it's a little bit iffy for me. A little bit iffy. So the shield that Tony Stark gives Cap after he comes back and he figures out time travel, because he's a smart dude, he says, I made this for you. Now, it could be just Tony talking, blah, 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 but let's say he did make it for him. Where did he get the vibranium to make it? Did he go to Wakanda? Because I don't think Tony would have been welcomed with open arms into Wakanda with, I presume, M'Baku as the new king. I don't think that would have happened because he does not like outsiders, from what I've gathered at the very least. So where did this vibranium come from? Was it from somewhere else? Was it from where Ultron had gotten a bunch of vibranium? Did they melt it down? I don't know. And that's something that really confused me about this throwaway line. Another portion of that is that he could have remade it. But again, how would he have remade it? Like, did he just find some extra vibranium? Just like little pieces lying around in S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that? Because the last time that we saw this shield was fully scratched up by Black Panther and maybe something to do with Tony Stark at the end of Civil War. I can't remember, but the shield is beat up regardless. And this one is crisp and clean. Like, what happened? What happened? I'm just thinking he probably just gave a little paint job with the old red, white, and blue there. Some little Tipex, something like that. Falcon, Cap, and Bucky. So this one, it's special. So let's take a trip down comic book lane, memory lane type stuff. In the comics, the first person, at least majorly wise, because there's been a number of people that have been Captain America, to be perfectly honest, the first person to really take the mantle and people care about was Bucky. And that happened after Civil War, the comic book. Captain America dies because Sharon Carter actually ends up shooting him, and it's not actually Crossbones that kills him, but that's besides the point. And Bucky takes on the mantle of Captain America, holding the shield, although I think it's not the round shield he has, it's a different one. But the point is, he becomes Captain America in the comics before Sam Wilson does. That's right, Sam Wilson does actually become Captain America in the comics much later on, and a lot of controversy surrounded it with that time in Marvel's period, which I've made videos on surrounding Captain Marvel as well, but still. In the movie, in the comics, it makes a lot more sense for Bucky to become Captain America at that time, because Sam Wilson was not as prominent a person at that time. So it works, and I get it. In the MCU, the whole time I wanted Bucky to become Captain America. I was like, if they make it Sam, it's gonna be okay, whatever. But there's nothing outside of the MCU, there's nothing within the MCU that shows that Sam Wilson will be Captain America. There's no hints or anything, it's just thrown out there at the end of this movie. Purely because everything with Bucky in the Winter Soldier, it has him holding the shield number of times as hints, or it could be just Easter eggs saying that yes, he was Captain America in the comics. The other part of that is even in Civil War, you see Bucky throwing the shield with Cap back and forth, teamwork. Cool, all right, maybe it could just be teamwork. That's fine. And then out of nowhere they give it to Sam. I don't like that. That was really confusing, at least on the surface. Now psychologically, it makes a lot more sense because Sam has been in the real world, as it were, working with Cap a lot more than Bucky has. Cap has gotten to know Sam very well. And psychologically, again, for Bucky, he still has, as far as we know, he still has the brainwashing from Hydra. So anything could go wrong. And a symbol of someone that has committed a lot of atrocities, but basically been an assassin, an excellent assassin at that, that is not the symbol of virtue and hope and freedom, as it were, that you'd want when someone is clearly trapped in their own brain. So you probably don't want that. And considering with that, Sam has been by his side since he's come back. He's watched him grow as a person and as a soldier, and as an Avenger, Cap has seen Sam Wilson grow. And he sees a little something in Sam that he sees in himself, and he's happy to give him the shield. So that overall, whilst I may not like it and I prefer Bucky to have it, within the MCU confines, it makes a lot more sense for Sam to have it, but I'm still not happy about it. Still not happy about it, and like I said, this might be grinding gears. It might be because, oh, he's black. Like, no, it's not because he's black. I'm black. It's literally that it makes more sense, MCU-wise, for what they've shown before, for Bucky to be Cap in MCU, unless you think about it psychologically. So I can accept it, still don't like it. Fight me. Anyways, dudes, that was my video on the things that I did not like, or at least the major things I didn't like within Avengers Endgame. If you could leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends so they can like it and watch it and subscribe, all that, you know, domino effects. However, if you didn't like it, share it with your enemies and they'll click on it and they have to deal with my voice and my face, and hopefully they like it. Either way, just share the video. There's gonna be videos in here, in this area, you know, subscriptions here, all that good jazz. Tell me what you think about the video and what you didn't like about Avengers Endgame. Still don't have a sign off yet, so peace.